I'm going to make like a, I guess you would call it like a something to fight off colds and flus. It's that time of the year where you're starting to get colds and flus and things like that, and kids are going back to school and bringing back germs and all this other stuff. So I decided to show you what I do to protect myself and keep my immune system up while we're in that particular season, especially with this thing about Ebola and all that. That is scary, but you know, I'm kind of one of those people that don't believe everything I hear in the news. I'm sure there's an Ebola outbreak that's going on in different parts of the world, but I'm not so sure if it's what they're saying it is, because sometimes the news can be, you know, pretty sensationalized. But with that, saying that, I still think you need to protect yourself. I'm not saying that this particular concoction can keep you from getting Ebola or any other type of virus or anything like that, but it's really good to help keep your immune system up, and it probably will keep you from getting the flu. So I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are. I have lemons, garlic. And the lemons and garlic, they are organic, because I really try to stick to organic meats and fruits and vegetables. If it's going in my body, I want it to be as natural as possible. I also have here some honey. This particular honey is called ambrosia honey, and I'm sure I haven't seen it in other places, but I think I haven't. I was in California and I was looking for honey and I didn't see this particular brand, so I don't know. But it's here where I live at, so I don't know if it's just because it comes from a Colorado company, so I don't know. But anyway, this one's raw and gently filtered, and like I said, I try to get things that are that is organic and natural as possible. I also have here a jar. Now, you don't have to use a jar this big. You can use a smaller jar, but just make sure you put it in a glass jar, because when you put things like lemons and garlic and things like that into a container, it has a because they're detoxifying, it has a tendency to absorb the toxins. So make sure you put it in a glass jar. That's what you want your stuff to be put in. And this particular jar is a ball jar, and it is about 3.5 pints in milliliter size, which is about 6 cups, I guess, and milliliters is about 1,500 milliliters. So it has a top here, and you know, it's pretty good. I use jars a lot to store things. Another thing I'm going to use is thyme, and I cannot find the thyme. Oh, here. This particular thyme this is a cut leaf thyme, and I did get it from my natural health food store. You don't have to use this particular thyme that's dry and cut into leaves. You can also use thyme that's been powdered. Like my poor little thyme, it's been through the ringers. I use it a lot. I keep it in the freezer so I can maintain freshness, but this is thyme, and it was dry thyme that was powdered. So I will probably use this, but I will show you that you can use this too. So you don't have to use dried cut leaf thyme. You can also use powdered thyme, and I wouldn't go to the grocery store and buy thyme that's in like a little seasoning bottle. You want, like, again, you want this to be as fresh and unprocessed as possible. So I would get it from the health food store. You want the unadulterated kind for sure. Okay, so what I've already started, besides eating the lemons, because I eat rind and all, I don't know why, I just do that. I've taken about 8 lemons and started cutting them up. I've washed and dried them off, even though these are organic lemons, even though it came in like a little bag, you know, but still, you know, they've been handled by people and touched by people and stuff like that in the store. So, you know, you want to make sure that you wash them off and dry them and then use them. Okay, so I'm going to start chopping everything up and get started. So I'm just going to cut off the ends here. You can use the ends if you want, but you don't have to. And I think this particular lemon is not so good because I can see little brown parts in there. Inferior will not go into my concoction at all. It gets tossed. So just let me I'm noticing that a lot. You go to the grocery store and things are not, even the health food store, things are not that great. So when you start cutting them and looking at them, you know, yeah, it's kind of brown. I don't want to use it. So we get another one here. This one looks pretty good. Okay, so I've chopped up all of the lemons, and that's about the thickness of the lemons. And I think, like I said, I think I'll use about 10 lemons altogether, 8 to 10 lemons, small lemons. I've chopped up my garlic here, whole clove garlic. I peeled and chopped those up. And I now have my honey out. And I am going to start layering the thyme, the honey, and the garlic all in the jar here. Remember, always put things like lemons, cucumbers. If you chop these things up and you're not going to use them right away, do not put them in a plastic bag. Plastic baggie, a Ziploc bag. Put them in a small jar or something like that, glass jar. Because what lemons and cucumbers and tomatoes and garlic, things like those things, they are very detoxifying. So whatever they get into, they will start to detoxify. So, and then you go back and eat it, and it's full of all types of toxins that is pulled out of the container it's been sitting in. So you don't want that. So I'm going to put in a teaspoon of thyme. Now you don't have to use leaf thyme. I'm just putting this in here to show you that you can use dried leaf thyme. You don't have to use powdered. So then I'm going to, let me make sure this is in there. Okay. And you can do this in any order that you want. I am going to add some honey. And make a mess like I always do with honey. Okay. And add my lemons. Oops. And some garlic. And I'm going to keep doing that until I run out of all of my ingredients here. Now the reason why thyme is a very powerful herb. There's three different, it comes from three different countries. There's English, there's German, and I think there's French thyme. And very powerful herb. It's very good as like an expectorant or something for your lungs, like for respiratory infections. So if you have like coughs or asthma or any type of bronchial problems, sore throat or whatever, it's perfect for that, you know. So this is a way to take time and get that into your system when you start having those types of problems. Now I'm not saying, you know, you have asthma, go get some thyme and that's it, and don't take, you know, your meds or anything for that. But I'm just saying this could be possibly a helper for that. So not a replacement, but a helper. So add that in there. Garlic. Garlic is antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. So it's perfect for when you have any type of infection, because it goes through and it kills those types of things. I mean, literally kills it. So, you know, so is honey. Honey is antibacterial. So that's why when you put this concoction together, you're not going to have to worry about it really going bad, because everything in it is basically a preservative. I mean, from your lemons to your honey to your garlic, it's a preservative. So, you know, it's perfect. You won't have to worry about its shelf life. I would keep it in the fridge though. And you'll see as I keep layering it with honey and lemons and stuff, it's going to start making its own juice. It'll be the juice from the lemons. So when you feel like you're starting to get sick, or feel like something's starting to come down on you, this is perfect to take to kind of help mitigate that from it actually kicking in and taking over. Spoon. So I do have another ingredient. Oh, there it is. Oh my god. I do have another ingredient that I'm going to put in here, but I'm going to kind of add that last because it's pretty strong in flavor and it's strong in its actions. So I'm going to add that last. Now this is not going to taste the best. It's really not bad. It's just the garlic in it. If you don't really like the taste of garlic, then you probably won't like the taste of this, but it's not so bad. I actually just take this and make when it makes this juice, I just kind of pour it in a cup, and drink it that way, or pour it in a cup with a little bit more water, and or either I will just take a spoonful of it every day and just take it that way, kind of like a medicine or something. So there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you make this, you would take it any way that you feel comfortable taking it. So, but yeah, the shelf life on here, it's pretty long because, like I said, all these things in here are basically natural preservatives from the lemons, garlics, and honey. I mean, they found jars of honey in Egyptian tombs that's been there for thousands of years, and it was still edible. So, God's medicine is awesome. Awesome. Just have to take the time to learn about it. Thyme is also good for if you have anemia, because thyme has vitamin C, iron, and calcium. So, which most herbs usually always have a lot of minerals in it, and of course vitamin A. Most green herbs have vitamin A in it, like your lettuce and your spinach and stuff like that. So, yeah. So I'm just going to finish putting all this stuff in here and then show you the last thing I'm going to put in. Okay. Okay, so here is a concoction here. I don't even know what to really call this, because I actually saw this recipe on from another YouTuber by the name of Vera747. Her channel's about spirituality, but her daughter has asthma, and she makes something similar to this for her daughter and all her kids, especially when they have to go to school, and to keep them from getting sick and stuff. So I decided to try it, and it did work. I did it about a year ago, and I've been doing it ever since. So it does work. I guess about 8 months ago, I think. So yeah. So see, the lemons are in here. So it's the lemon, thyme, honey, and garlic. So as you can see, it's already starting to make its own juice. The juice from the lemons is starting to seep out. So yeah, so there's one little thing I want to add, and this is something that the other YouTuber does not do this, but I do. I add something called oil of oregano. Now, oil of oregano is pretty powerful, so if you are pregnant or trying to be pregnant, I would not add this. Because what it does, it's antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. So it kills anything, any type of germ that comes from bacteria or fungus or viruses. So, and we know can be pretty invasive because that's what Ebola is. It's a virus, but it's a virus made up of about 3 or 4 or 5 different types of viruses, which seems kind of odd to me. It seems created, but so you know, it has the measles virus, mumps virus, and all that stuff wrapped up into one. So viruses can get in your body and sit dormant for a long time and not cause any problems until the right environment comes along and triggers it. So, and then it turns into something completely different. So what we want to do is make sure this concoction is as powerful as it can be. So I'm going to add about a dropper full of this, or maybe 2. This is pretty strong in taste, meaning it's kind of, if anybody remembers camphor phenique, it kind of has that flavor. If you smell that, imagine what it tastes like. This tastes like that. So, but I'm only adding a little bit in here, so it's not going to be overpowering. But it will be detrimental, any type of virus or something you get. So this is going to kill it on contact. So I've also thought about putting in like zinc tablets, but that's something I'm going to play around with, because you can't take too much zinc or else you won't die from taking too much zinc, but you can feel a little nauseated and stuff. So I'm going to play around with that. But yeah, as you can see the it's really starting to make its own juice here. I can see the juice moving around, the honey and all that. So I hope you guys try this concoction. I don't even know what to call it. I think I'm just going to call it like Carly's concoction or something. I don't know, but we'll see when I put the video out. But yeah, try it, and I will leave it out for like a day, just a day, just so it won't get into the refrigerator and the honey and get kind of solidified. We want it to kind of stay kind of liquid, so it can start making the juice more. The lemons can move through it, and after that I would put it in the fridge. So hope you guys try this out. I hope it works for you and your family, and you guys have okay. So it's a few days later, and I have let this sit in my fridge, and I just took it out, and I just heated up some water here, and I'm going to just pour it in my cup. I'm doing this just to show you how I use it. And it's kind of hard to do with one hand because I don't have my camera stand. So I'm just going to take a little bit from the jar. If I can do this with one hand, maybe I'll just kind of pour it. And I can really smell the garlic. And here comes the liquid. That's probably about a teaspoon there. And I'm just going to stir it up some. And I'll drink it that way. There's a couple other things I want to add, because I keep seeing all these things on the news about Ebola and all this other stuff. And like I said, Ebola is a virus, and it is composed of 3 or 4 different viruses wrapped up into one. And some of the symptoms that you will have is like fever, stiff neck, some upper respiratory conditions going on, and they're saying in some cases people are getting paralysis, and it's mostly affecting children, which, all these symptoms actually sound like meningitis to me. But I'm not a doctor, but they thought I had meningitis a few years ago, and I was taking stuff like this. So if I did have it, my body was kicking it out with stuff like this and all the other tablets I'm going to show you. There's a lot of things that I take to keep up my immune system. One of them is the emergency packs. Now this is the immune defense version. They have different flavors. I think it comes in cherries, and it comes in like berry flavor and orange flavor, and it has 1,000 milligrams of milligrams of vitamin C in each pack, along with zinc and copper and some other minerals that help actually kill viruses and stuff. So I would suggest picking up a box of this, and I know they do sell it at Walmart for like $8-9, I think. So I do take these sometimes. I usually take these to work when I am not home to drink something like this. So another thing that I do when I know I feel something coming on, besides drinking this, I also take olive leaf. Olive leaf is awesome. Like if you have if you have any type of congestion, sinus stuff, this is great to take. And it suggests that you take about 3 capsules with food daily. I do suggest you take these things with something on your stomach. Any type of medication or vitamins, always take it with something on your stomach, because you don't want it to cramp your stomach or anything. So I haven't had that with this, but I would take it with food. I take about 6 of these. I'm not saying you do that. That's what I do, because I notice if I'm getting something, that's about how many it takes to actually start to kick whatever out that I'm starting to catch, like a cold or a flu or a virus or something. So I do take these, and the pills are they are powdered tablets. So this is about the size of the tablets, and it's powdered inside. Olive leaf is great as an expectorant, meaning that it goes in and decongests you. So like I said, if stuffy nose, chest congestion, good for stuff like that. And they do work. It's been my experience. They do actually work, and I get that from the health food store. And again, here's the oil of oregano that I did put in the concoction here. So that's another thing that I would take. Also, just get some water or some juice or something, and just put a half dropper full in there and drink that. Again, very powerful, strong camphor taste. So you might not like the way this tastes at all, but hey, if you're sick, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And there's another version of olive leaf, is this one. I do like this particular version by Gaia. And I got this from my health food store. Also, I get all these things from my health food store. And the reason why I like these is because they are, instead of them being a powdered capsule, they are liquid caps. And so that, for me, that means that they're going to get into my system a lot quicker, and do what it has to do. So those are some of the things that I use. Another thing that I take is like vitamin C. I have a hard time taking these because I have a hard time swallowing large capsules, and this particular version has very large capsules. So what I do with this is, like, sometimes I'll take it and just crush them up and put it in some juice or something and drink it that way, because these, I will choke on these, seriously. So I that's what I do with that. But there's another type of vitamin C that I use, but I'm out of it. It's powdered, and one teaspoon of that particular vitamin C is about 4,800 milligrams of vitamin C in 1 teaspoon. So if you did 2 of those, you're getting close to like 10,000. So only thing that happens when you take too much vitamin C is that you would get the runs. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just being honest. I know that's gross. I'm not trying to gross you out, but that's what happens. And that's okay, because usually at that point it's cleaning you out, it's detoxifying you, and that's one detoxification system that is getting a bad rap. Now, if you have like diarrhea or whatever for a long term, that's a problem, because you start to be dehydrated. But when you take it and you have it for a short term, that's your body's way of getting rid of some stuff that it's not happy about being in there. So so if you take too much vitamin C, that's basically the only thing that's going to happen, and I would just suggest not don't take as much and just kind of taper off. So that's how I use this concoction. I heat up the water and then pour some in here and drink it that way. I also take other things, you know, to help boost up my immune system, to help fight viruses and colds and bacteria or whatever. So I hope this video is helpful to you. Please try them out. If you have an allergy to something, if you have an allergy to herbs or stuff, I will not suggest you do this type of thing, but definitely take vitamin C. So try this out, and I truly protect yourself as much as you possibly can. Okay, thanks.